Chris, not long ago we were we're actually sat up in the press box having a chat about what was left of this season, and now we're here under slightly different circumstances after the announcement this week. So for those who haven't read the report, tell me a little bit about what's happened and how that came about.
Well, I've obviously had 3 great years here, thoroughly enjoyed every minute. Sat down with Mick and Pete and we just looked at the way the squad was going and the situation of the game at the moment, and realised it was just time for me to move on. There's other opportunities for me elsewhere to do new things. So I think it was the right time for maybe a slight refresh of the squad, and for me to kind of move in. I'm not getting any younger, but I still feel really fresh, and I'm really enjoying this T20. So yeah, look, it was decided that was going to be the end of my time at Notts, which is obviously extremely sad. But also
we've
exciting.
tried to hold back the sobbing on camera at least. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and it's one of those where I think for me to play in the T20 and hopefully go out with a title would be fantastic. So I feel like I'm playing some really good cricket this year. So I want to keep performing and walk away with the trophy.
And we'll come on to what's left of this competition shortly. But what does the future look like for you? We know you go away and coach over the winter. We know from chats that you have fingers in other pies, as it were. So what's in your kind of short-term aim at the moment? I
think it's one of those things. I think as you do get older, it's so important, and we're very well supported. The PCA through the coaches are great, and just looking into the future, you do have to plan for that as a professional sportsman. So it's something I've been looking at for a while now, and the summer gave me some really good time to think. So I am moving into a few other things outside of cricket, which I've always had an interest in, always look to study and keep my mind active. So yeah, I've got some great opportunities coming up as soon as the season ends. And on the flip side, for me, cricket isn't finished yet. I still feel like I've got a lot to give, and if that can be in a slightly different capacity, then it's something I'm looking at as well.
Okay, so I think that any sportsman would always say the sport that they play is their first love. So cricket must well be your first love. And somebody who's seen you through that is Peter Moores. Obviously, you two seem to gravitate towards each other quite regularly. How is that going to feel, not having sort of Pete there in the background?
Well, it'll be strange actually. Obviously, I've known Morsey since I was about 12, 13 years old. He used to coach me in the old indoor school down at Hove. So I've known him my whole cricketing life, really, my whole life. He gave my first contract. So then to be called in and
nice
get the news the other day was a circle of life, really. Look, me and Morsey, we've had a great relationship over the last 20 years, and that's something I think will continue on. I think we'll always be good friends. It's been great to reconnect with him over the last 3 years, and just to kind of, from where we both started when he was in his first coaching job and my first year as a pro, to he's been all around international, won championships with other teams, and to be here 20 years on is fantastic as well. So yeah, it's been an amazing circle kind of our cricketing lives.
Cast your mind back to that first day you arrived here at Trent Bridge, or even the point at which you knew you were coming. What aim did you come to sort of see out, and do you feel like you've done that?
A good question, actually. For me, it was to come to a place like Trent Bridge, to play at a test ground. I'd never played international cricket, so I never had haven't played regularly in these big grounds. So for me to play at Trent Bridge, I did have some really big aims. I wanted to win all the trophies and score millions of runs.
We always do.
We always do, and that's, you'd be wrong not to have that aim. But obviously a lot of that stuff didn't work out. An injury in the first year was really bad for me, and then our kind of Red Bull form over the last couple of years. Missing out on a lot of T20 last year. But on the flip side of that, it's been a great learning curve to miss out on so much, but then to the quarter-final last year, to captain the club was fantastic for me. I really enjoyed those sides of it. Just to play here and to meet the people here and everyone around the club. I came from Sussex, where everyone was very friendly, and from the guys on the gate to everyone in the offices. And although this is a huge ground, it still retains that feeling, which is really special.
So, do you feel like you've left your mark on Trent Bridge? And if so, what mark is it?
Well, there's a hole just over there where I fell over and dislocated my shoulder. I'd like to think I have. I think I've had a really good influence on a lot of the younger players. I've really enjoyed working with a lot of the guys and hopefully giving them a good perspective on life. I think that's one of my strengths, in that I've got a decent perspective on cricket and life. And hopefully people see how hard I work, even as an old grumpy man. So I do think that hopefully people look back and say he was a good guy. He shared his knowledge, he gave his time to people, and if that's what people remember of me, as well as being hopefully a very good cricketer, then I'll be very happy.
So I've asked you what mark you feel like you've left on here, but what mark has Nottinghamshire, Trent Bridge, the Outlaws left on you? What will you take away from here?
so much to work with Morsey, to work with all the coaches, you know, from Lisa to Mitt. They're brilliant. The way they've looked after me, the way they've treated me. You know, even being injured in my first year as an older player was really disappointing. But the way the club were towards me during that time was amazing. So the support network at this club is fantastic, and the way they treat people. That for me is something that I'll really take away, as well as playing at a great ground and just getting to know so many people. You know, yourself, Aaron, you know, the people, all the ground staff in the offices. It's been fantastic and something I'll never forget.
So finally, what is your fondest memory?
My fondest memory, I don't think I can really go past the quarter-final last year.
Exactly what I was going to say, it would be mine.
Yeah, I think you watch these historic nights at grounds like this where you're under the lights, TV cameras are in, big crowds, and you want to be part of that, and you want to be the man at the end of it to win the game. To not play the whole comp, but to get the nod for the quarter-final. I put a lot of work in mentally and physically to get ready for that. And then for it to all come out like that was amazing. So to walk off, my brother was there, so he was there, first bloke I saw. That will always be, you know, my fondest memory of playing here, and something I'll cherish forever.
You literally smiled for a good 2 hours afterwards.
I think I smiled for about 6 months afterwards. It was great fun, and again, you know, and the supporters as well. I've had a lot of messages from supporters on social media, and they've been fantastic. They've supported me through, you know, ups and downs over the last 3 years, and that's what makes this place so special.
Okay, well, it's going to be odd not having our Joker in the pack next season. I'm not going to try and make you cry, but good luck with everything, and please keep in touch.
Thank you so much. Cheers.